it's me, JC, back with another Ceramic Hour live stream. Um, quick update on our spill-proof pet bowl. This definitely was not a surprise, but we had some issues while it was drying to bone dry. So we made this in a few of the live streams. We've got a lot of cracking on the base. Not entirely sure like how to fix this. We're having a lot of issues with like slab building and like joining different pieces together. So this, just because like we have so many large cracks, I'm not going to try to save it with Bisque Fix. I'm just going to throw it in my reclaim. So just so you know, we will not be saving this. I don't know if I'm gonna make another one. Probably not for a little bit. I have like a bunch of other projects that I really want to get done, and that was just kind of like more of a funsy project. So what we will be doing in this stream is we're going to continue trimming the heart-shaped trinket dishes that we started last week. So I've got my banding wheel here. We have 3 hearts. So there's quite a lot for us to get through. Yeah, so here is the top side, and then the bottom we are carving out a tiny bit there. Let me see, what do I want to grab? I need this loop tool. Let me like, I don't know, kind of like adjust my camera. I kind of need it to be like so I can see it, but so you guys can see it too. So we're just gonna be trimming in this video, nothing too crazy, and just like a teensy bit off the bottom, and then we'll go up to the top. We also need to adjust the side here a bit. It's actually like not that dry, even though it's been sitting. We'll see what we can do. But I want to angle the sides so that they're angled kind of like this. So the bottom area is a little bit smaller than top, if that makes sense. I think we will do that maybe in a little bit. I would kind of prefer it was not so damp to like start carving that portion out. I'm really surprised how like wet these are for sitting like the whole weekend. What do we have? So I have an update. So on Wednesday, I'll be going to the studio and picking up another glaze firing. So on Thursday, we'll have like a kiln reveal. We have mostly some bowls. What else? Like a carved out, that candle holder kind of vase thing. This batch does not have any test towels, where our last batch had like a ton. So this batch will be like all like actual pieces. Mostly bowls, really. Can't quite think of what else we brought. Pitcher, slab cup. Actually, I think there are like a few other like shorter kind of cups in there too. There was a mug. See how the mug turned out. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with it. I'm having so many issues with mugs. One of the mugs that is still drying, I saw had like a small tiny crack on the bottom. I'm not sure if I want to risk it or if I'm just gonna scrap it. We will see. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to bring, I'm not sure if I'm gonna bring anything to the studio yet for the bisque. That's what I have coming up. Okay, let's see if we can start on the sides here. So I have a load of things. We have a bunch of those kiln cookies. We have turtles, bunny plates, and then a base for my planter. Those are what I'm planning on bringing in the next bisque firing. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure about the turtles. They're so thick. I want to feel like really sure that they are going to be 100% dry when I go to the studio to bring them. Because if they're not dry 100% when you put them in the bisque firing, that is what is going to cause them to like explode in the kiln. We don't want that. We don't want to have that happen. So they're so thick. I don't really know how long I want to wait on those. I made them like, I don't even know when I finished making them, but that was definitely a long time ago, like a couple months ago. And they have been sitting slow drying, like extremely like slow drying under some plastic for that like entire time. Two of them dried a bit faster than this one, but I kind of want to like try to fire them at the same time. Also, I moved them around, so I have no idea which ones are which. That was probably a stupid idea. So I don't know. I don't know if I might just like wait to do this bisque until I know the turtles are done. Well, until, I mean, I won't really know. I'm just kind of like guessing as to like how long they should sit out. Now, like I have fully uncovered all of them now. Two of them have been uncovered for like probably a week. And then the one looks like it is bone dry. And I think I just took that out of the plastic today. I'm not really sure. Oh my gosh, I have no idea. But it's really like that one I'm not really sure about. So I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards like maybe either not including the turtles in the next bisque or like waiting. I don't even know. Maybe waiting like 2 weeks or something. And like, and then maybe I'll kind of feel like confident that they're fully dry. But that is what is coming up next. I actually do have like a few pieces that I am I'm drawing out with some pencil on them to for either glazing or underglazing. So I definitely do like have a batch that like kind of could go. They have to be finished. I have enough, but they all have to be like finished, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do on them. Let me just like wipe off my hands like real quick. I can like grab a couple. I have like, so here's one I want to do glazing on. I'm thinking about like painting the glaze on in these like blobs, and then the background is going to just be the clay body with a clear glaze on top. So I have that one. Obviously this is going to be really easy, but I'm still drawing out the other pieces and kind of figuring out what I want to do with them. I think this will be really cute. It's just like for a long time I've been planning on doing more like illustrative pieces on these like small plates and stuff that I have set aside. So I don't know. I don't want to like just do glazing on them. I kind of want to just like sit down and do it. Here's one that I'm working on. So this one's gonna have a little bunny on it, but I think the leaves that I drew are too big. So I'm thinking about like redoing them. Just like all of this stuff, like trying to draw it out and then like redoing it and all of that. It just kind of takes like a long time. So I don't think that I can get like, I don't think I can get a batch like glazed and underglazed by, what is it? By like tomorrow night, really. I try to pick up the stuff as soon as I can because I don't want it to like take up space in the studio. You know, it's just like courteous to pick it up as soon as you can. But I do kind of try to line up when I pick up and drop off is at the same time, just because that's convenient for me. But I don't know. I'm not sure if we're gonna have anything to drop off on Wednesday. I don't know. Maybe I could just do the bisque and not do the turtles. The turtles really got me. I have like no idea how long to wait to like, I don't know, try to guess that they are completely bone dry. I don't think there's a way of knowing either. Like, obviously, like, the very outside, I think, would be pretty, I think could look bone dry, but I feel like it's possible that maybe, like, closer towards, like, the core of it, maybe it wouldn't be. I'm not sure. I don't know. I have to kind of like think about it. I'm kind of like impatient. I'm very impatient and like, I don't know. I mean, it's nothing like that exciting, like dropping off a bisque firing. But like, I'm so excited to go there on Wednesday to get the glazed pieces and see how those turn out. Like, that is so exciting. And we just got a glazed firing back too. So, I don't know. It's been a great couple of days. What else is new? I did mention in like the past video, like I don't know, sometime last week, that I'm gonna be featured in this like marketing email for Michael's Maker Place. It's like a competitor to Etsy, if you don't know, for like handmade makers. You can have a little shop on there and sell things to people. It's works very similar to Etsy. like you have your own shop on there, but if people are searching, a bunch of shops will pull up different items. All of that is very similar. So Maker Place is featuring like they're gonna have like a headshot of mine and a quote that I wrote for them, and they're gonna show like one of my pieces for Women's History Month, which is next month. And they sent me a separate email, and they asked for a high res version of like a product listing that I have for it's one of the mini vases. It's about this big, and it's kind of like a pink and white mix glaze that, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe like how it looks, but it's that miniature vase that we made on the stream. And so they asked me for some pictures, and they're going to like use it. They're going to like put it in a carousel, I think, like on their website somewhere to like feature it. Kind of like, I think it's gonna be kind of like some sort of like editor's pick or something kind of like that. Like they're featuring it in a special way. And oh my gosh, they told me that they're going to use it on some sort of signage in their stores. It didn't say like which stores. Like it kind of sounded like not all of them, but some locations will have like some kind of signage with a picture of my piece on it, which is like, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna freak out if I go to Michael's and that is in that shop. It's in the store. I'm seriously gonna freak out. That would be so cool. But I feel like because they were so vague about it, I wasn't really sure if I should ask, like, if they're gonna have it in one of the Portland stores. But that would be so cool if I could actually see it in person. Like, so cool. I just want to say, for anybody that is like, I don't know, kind of like a beginner and stuff, is wondering like, how did I manage this? I literally didn't do anything. I really didn't do anything. Most times you have to like reach out to places. Like if you wanted to be featured in a magazine, you have to like probably reach out to their editor or something. I don't know, like media outreach. But I didn't do a thing to get featured in Maker Place. What I did notice though was that of course Maker Place is very new. It launched fall of 2023. Is extremely new. They don't have a ton of people selling on there. And now that it has launched and people are hearing about it, people are creating shops on there, they are creating marketing materials for it. And they're like, there's a good amount on there, but of course they want to drum up excitement and whatever. Like they want marketing materials to get more sellers on the platform, get more buyers on the platform. And if you search ceramics, like that's what my business is focusing on right now. So a lot of my work is showing up on there. Like if you search like ceramics, just nothing in particular, my work will show up on the first page because there's not so much competition. Whereas like if you went to Etsy and you put in just ceramics, like there are so many pages full of so many different sellers. Like, there's so much competition. But because there aren't so many people on Maker Place right now, my stuff is standing out. And they like my product photos. They like generally like what my shop is making and stuff. And it stands out to them. So I'm just gonna say, like, I got lucky, really, that that they see my stuff and they're like, yeah, this is cool, and they reached out to me and I didn't have to do anything. That's really luck. The majority of the time you do want to pursue media outreach on your own accord. You generally don't want to just like hope that, you know, some editor or someone in marketing or wherever reaches out to you. Generally, you want to reach out to them. I haven't particularly like done that yet. I kind of feel like I want to get rid of all of the non-ceramic things that are well, they're in my like normal website shop or my Etsy shop. I kind of feel like I want to get rid of those and have more ceramic inventory before I try to do any media outreach on my own. And like, I don't know, I kind of feel like maybe I should get my style honed in more too, but I'm not sure if that's really necessary. I don't know. Before I actually like do that on my own accord. You can check out this YouTuber. I forgot what her name is, but her YouTube name is like the Creative Hive. She runs the really famous polymer clay business, Tiny Hands. I think her name is May something. I might be wrong. I feel like it's something like that. But she has a lot of videos about like how she has grown her business with media outreach. And I'm kind of like watching some of those and learning from it. But yeah, you can learn like it, like, I don't know, like it sounds kind of weird in today's day and age to be reaching out to like magazines and blogs, possibly even like Instagram or YouTube creators to like feature your work, but it is something that people do still and can make sales from if you're featured. Or like stuff like Instagram would be like smaller kind of influencers and such featuring your work. I definitely would be like hesitant if somebody reached out to you. You just want to make sure that you're not getting like some kind of weird spam or something, and it's like a legit person if they're asking you to send them like your work for free or something and they say they're gonna feature it. Or any of those ones on Instagram, you might get a message that says like, oh, if you like pay us money, we'll feature your work like on our Instagram. Do not do that. That's like spam stuff. So be hesitant if somebody does reach out to you. Check out, like if it's on Instagram, check out the account. Is it legit? Are these like real people following it, or is it just bots? And then if somebody's reaching out to you via email, you want to carefully read over the sender address. I looked at it and they might have something that could be very similar. Like say like, so the Michael's email that I got, it says like maker place editor at Michaels or something. Like if Michaels was spelled like slightly differently, that means it wouldn't be from actually Michaels. Or like you want to make sure everything is spelled right. And then I went to their website and went to their help center to see if that is kind of how they write their emails. Is that instead of like at Gmail, it says at michaels.com. And I checked that and I went to their help center. I found their email address and it does say that. It says like, it was like helpcenter at michaels.com or something like that. So you just want to like carefully read over those things. And then if anybody's asking you for like money, probably a scam. Like, yeah, probably a scam. In any case, I think there are like things maybe you could like Google for like typical scams. There's like a weird thing with like Zello on Facebook that's a scam where they like, where it's like on like Facebook Marketplace, they like said that they sent you money and then they're telling you you have to send them money and stuff. And anything that sounds kind of weird, you just want to be really cautious of. But yeah, I mean, the Michaels email really didn't, they didn't ask me for like a whole lot. They're just like, yeah, can you send us like these images? And it's like, okay, well, there's nothing wrong with sending you images. As far as I can tell. But yeah, anything that is like maybe sensitive information, like, I don't know. Definitely if it has something to do with money is probably the big part where you should be a little cautious and be like, are you a real person? Okay. Let's check this out. This thing is like, it's very wet. I kind of like smushed that in. I wonder if we're gonna have an issue there. Okay. We have a majority of it carved out. I'm just gonna set this one aside and grab another one. Just because they're so, I'm gonna dry it upside down also. I'm very surprised how well these are doing. I'm actually going to move the camera a little bit. I'm gonna put a couple of these little paint stir sticks down. These are so nice. I highly recommend getting some of these. Because they're so flexible in like what you can do with them. I'd say I've mostly used them to like raise stuff up. Do note that like things that I'll dry on these, they will get moldy, but that is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You can just grab some, I'll get a little cup and I'll put some vinegar in it. I'll do half vinegar, half water in the cup, and then some kind of like, I'll get a sponge or paper towel, whatever, and then wipe down the mold off of the stir sticks, or there'll be like mold on either like, possibly like my wear board here will get mold when I do reclaim. Or I have these like 2x4s that I'll also dry my pieces on and they might get moldy. Totally fine, unless you're allergic to mold. Otherwise, it's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just wipe it down with some vinegar and water and it should just kind of like go away. You might want to put like a mask on. when you clean up your mold, because when I wipe it, there's like this like small like plume that like comes off of it, and I'm like, ew. So you might want to wear like a mask or something, but it will kill it, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with mold getting on your pieces, because when they go into the kiln for the bisque, it's just going to kill them. It's going to kill anything that is organic, and just kind of disintegrates in the kiln. So there's nothing wrong with them on there. And it shouldn't leave any kind of marks. If there was a little bit of mold on your piece, it shouldn't, like, you shouldn't see anything, any remnants of it after it's fired, that there was mold on it. Same with using clay that might be a little bit moldy. Nothing wrong with that either. It's not gonna mess up like the chemical composition of your clay. It might be a little stinky. or if there's like mold or bacteria or whatever in your glaze or underglaze, same thing there. It's not gonna mess with the composition. Totally fine to use. It just stinks and is kind of annoying. Okay. Alright, we've carved out a good chunk here. I really gouged it in this area. I just want to be like really careful not to like carve too much out. I just want to make it like even and avoid making it deeper than it needs to be. Okay, that's pretty good. I think we could do maybe a little bit on the sides right now. Let's see. I don't think we have any other little updates or anything. I did get photos of the new pieces that we got back from the kiln. Hopefully all of those photos are good and I won't have to retake any. I've only looked at a few just so that I can like edit and post a few on Instagram this weekend. I'll still need to go through and edit the rest of them. And then I don't feel the need to do it on the stream, but before I list them to be available, I do need to sand the bottoms down. Any part that doesn't have glaze on it is a little rough, and it's just, you know, it's just like a courtesy to your, to your customers to sand down any of those rough areas on your pieces. So I just want to do that like before I forget. I hate to like list them and then like get a sale and then forget to sand it, and then the customer gets it and is like, what the heck? Always remember to do that. And even places that have like a very thin coat of glaze on it and it might be a teeny bit rough, you can still go over that with some sandpaper and clean it up. I was recently not that recently. It was a holiday market at the ceramic studio, and this lady, I think she's pretty new to ceramics. She like, I think she glazed half of the handle. I think it was either half or none of it. And I picked it up and it was rough. And like my instant reaction was just like, oh, I don't like that. And, like, I didn't even think about it till like we were in the car leaving. I did kind of like it. And I would have bought it if it was not rough. But like I didn't think about it until we were in the car that I could just sand it myself. But it's just like I didn't even have that thought. My gut reaction to picking it up was just like, I don't like that. Like, ooh, no. That was just my gut reaction. So, like, do not forget to sand your pieces down before you put them for sale. I mean, you really wouldn't want to make your customers have to sand them themselves either, you know? I don't think that lady, you know, had that kind of like malicious thought, like, oh, I'm gonna make the customers do it themselves. Like, I don't think she was thinking that or anything. I just think she, like, I don't know, didn't like think about it, or like didn't realize that it would be kind of a deterrent for some people, if that makes sense. Because like otherwise, if it was fully glazed, I would have bought it. Or I'll just kind of show this for example. Sometimes at the very top of like rims, you might have like a teensy spot or something that is a tiny bit rough because the glaze moved away from it. You can also sand those down. So anything where it's like sort of rough, you can use some sandpaper for that. And I'll use 2 different grits of sandpaper. So one of them is like, I don't know what the numbers are, but one of them is kind of like, I don't know, maybe like a rough or medium or something. And then I also have a fine one. So you can use the rougher one to really get at like those larger bits. And then you can go over it again with the finer one and just really like fine tune the that. If you only use the fine tooth one, it would take you like a lot longer to sand it. So it's best to use both. You can get those at hardware stores. It's very common to find those at hardware stores. I'm not really sure, like, you could possibly find that like Walmart or something. I kind of feel like Target wouldn't have that. I don't think certain grocery stores would have that. I'm not sure. Yeah. So I don't really like feel like putting those on the stream. I don't think it's like that necessary. I think that would be kind of boring to put in the stream. But I do have to do that before I put the listings up. Luckily, my goodness, we do not have as many new things as the last time I got things back from the studio. So I think there's like 100 or something new pieces that I had to like put up last time. It was a lot. And it was like really overwhelming. But because we had so many test towels in the last firing, there really are not like that many pieces to post. I I don't know. I'm not sure when the next shop update will happen, but I'm thinking probably in the next week. I don't think it'll take that long. The other thing that takes kind of a while is just like writing the description. Sometimes I have a hard time like describing what the glaze looks like or the colors that are in it because I don't know. It's so hard describing glazes because you can have like so many colors just like speckling like the whole thing and stuff. So hopefully my descriptions aren't too bad. And also now I have 3 shops that I have to update. Oh my gosh. Cause I have my Etsy shop, my personal website, and now I'm posting all this stuff on Maker Place. So there's definitely like a little bit of what do you call it? Like a little bit of traction that makes it a little bit harder to easily update all of them. Like they're all manual things I have to do. I can't like automate this as far as I know. It's super annoying that my website, I don't know if I can change it, but my website asks for things in pounds and none of my pieces weigh even a pound. But like Etsy, it asks for it in pounds and ounces. So it's like, oh, okay, I can just put in 0 pounds and then this many ounces. But my stupid website, I don't know if I can fix it. I feel like probably not, but I don't know. I have to go and I have to convert, I have to go and convert all of the ounces into pounds, and it just looks extremely ridiculous. Like, the fact that I have to do that, like, it'll be like, I don't even know, it'll be like 2 ounces, and I have to put it in pounds, and it's like, I don't know, it's just like kind of like weird and funny. We're having some issues over here. I'm not totally sure how to fix this. I'm so bad at like slab building. Okay, let's see if we can just like smush. We're having like a little crack here. I don't know if we can just like smush it into place. I don't feel all that confident about fixing this thing. This little crack here. Oh no, just a second, let me see. If I push this down here into that area, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. It's really funky up here too. Okay, I don't know if this is going to be fine or if we're gonna get a crack there, but that's a little problematic. I also think our heart is a tiny wonky. Let me just like chop off like part of this side over here. Okay, let's take a look at the shape. Okay, hopefully it's not like too wonky. Okay. I think that'll be good. Okay, I think we can trim out maybe a little bit more out of this one. And then we can trim a little bit more out of the last one that we have. Oh, wow. That's good. No, it's not really that thin. When it kind of like bounces like that when you're trimming, it usually means it's like too thin. But it's just like a little bit too damp. It's like more damp than what I would normally carve at. But, I don't know. This is just what I had planned to do during the stream, though, so. It's not so bad to carve when it's damp, exactly. Generally, it's a lot easier to carve out too much. So you have to be a little careful about how much is being carved out. And then, I don't know, I think that's mostly what I would say. It's really wiggling around, of course, because it's not that dry. And generally you can't get very crisp edges either if it's too damp. We're okay here because we're just taking out like large chunks of clay from it, and that it doesn't really matter too much. It'll dry a lot faster now that we've taken out like a ton of clay from them. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, I did want to send a reminder, if you haven't watched the last live stream, be sure to check that out. It might be on Twitch still, depending on like when you're watching this. Most likely, check it out on YouTube at Callie & Co. And we have our kiln opening, and I show off like the pieces that we got back from the studio, all glazed, and those are really fun videos. We only have, I think, 3 glaze reveals showing how they turned out, and I try my best to let you guys know like what glazes are on them. The first 2 videos are not quite accurate unless I am 100% confident. Because I don't know. I looked at them later and then realized that some of them that I thought were like one glaze were a different, and all of that. But the last one that we did, was that on Friday? I think that was on Friday. The last reveal that we did was pretty accurate. I just wasn't sure about the plates where I just like poured glaze into them. I'm trying to keep track of the glazes I'm using better, like so that I can look back on my notes. I need to keep better notes. But otherwise, I do know what the other ones were. It's kind of hard because I'll write down what I'm going to do, and then while I'm glazing, something might happen. And then I'm like, okay, never mind, we're gonna do this. And then I forget to write it down. I would say that's like the biggest problem. Currently what I do, well, I have a spreadsheet. The last one we did, like, I think I glazed like 100 things. Like, there's just a ton of tiny vases, tiny trinket dishes, and there were so many things in that one kind of like glazing session. It was really hard to keep track of everything, so I made a spreadsheet while I was going, and I just kind of tried to vaguely like describe like what the item is, like if it's a small, medium, or large pinch pot, if it's a container, if it's a test tile, anything that kind of vaguely says like what it is. And then I have like a column for the first glaze, and then the glaze that is on top of it is in a second column, or I'll put in like if there was underglaze, whatever, into those columns. And then I have a notes section that says if anything kind of went wrong, like if the glaze was super thick, if it was super runny, what I tried to do to it to fix it, and then like kind of like the outcome of it. I'll try to take pictures of them too. Glazed, like if the glaze was super lumpy, I'll take a picture of the piece, so that like next time I see it like that, I'll kind of maybe know what is happening or how it's gonna look, or I don't know. And that's also like really helpful for the spreadsheet's really helpful for trying to glaze a lot of items. All of them, I will also have like a small piece of paper that I'll put inside of it or on top of it that says the glaze that is going to go on it. So a lot of mine are most likely combination glazes. I like to play with those. Or it'll say whatever. It'll say whatever. Like if it has an underglaze and then a glaze on top. But I also like have those in my notes too. And I try to group them together by what is going on them next. So all of them that need, you know, this one glaze on it, I put them next to each other, and then I move them, I reorganize them when they need like their second glaze. So hopefully I don't like most likely I try to do it so that I stir up the glaze and it's ready to go, and hopefully I won't have to remix it later. Sometimes it just happens with like depending on if it's going under or over, but I really try to get them all done at once if I can, without having to like remix it. Yeah, my notebook for the past glazing that I did for what I'm going to pick up on Wednesday, I just drew a little picture of the piece, and then I wrote down like what glazes went on it, and then my notes in there. It didn't need to be like a full spreadsheet or anything because I think I only had like 12 maybe. It really was not a lot. Like, it wasn't a lot. And then I just like write down anything weird that is happening with it. Or if I generally try to do 3 coats of glaze, brushing it on. But if the glaze is super thin, I might do 4 coats. And that's something that I would put in my notes as well. Stuff like that. And I also, like I mentioned, that I put a little piece of paper on top of the pieces. Like when I did like that like 100 batch, I took pictures of them, all together with their little piece of paper on it. So I got not only the shape, but also like the glaze that's going on top of it. I just try to take pictures at different angles to show like, so I have a good idea of like which one it is, shape-wise. For those ones that are large batches that I'm doing. I hope this makes sense and it's helpful for anybody watching. Oh, whoops. I really dug into the side here. And I also keep notes for my underglazes. Sometimes to do like color mixing in a way, I'll do like one layer, one color, one layer is another color, and then just kind of like sort of, I don't know. I don't know like exactly if that's like a good idea. I feel like it has to work because they're so transparent that I think it does work to kind of give you a slightly different color. But I will definitely put those in my notes. So if I want to replicate that color, that's so much easier than actually taking those colors and then mixing them together. I have done that, but I have not had to replicate that I mixed. I think that would be like kind of hard to do. Okay, we're making such great progress on this. And we really just have a couple minutes left. Well, this is our stream today. I hope you liked my chatting, and I hope it was informative. If you're watching on Twitch, thank you so much for tuning in. And be sure to follow along so you know when I jump on for a stream. All of the streams will be uploaded to my YouTube playlist at Callie & Co. You can watch all the live stream videos there. And currently we have over 100, so there's plenty for you to go watch if you want. And there's also other videos on the YouTube. There are a couple of ceramic tutorials. And then there's some other videos on there that are for just kind of like general artists for like any kind of artist. And then some for like small handmade business topics. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube also. And yeah, well, that's our stream. I will see you guys tomorrow again at 1 o'clock Pacific time. And I hope you have a great day. All right. Bye.